What's going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop Luke, and the final round is upon us. Clark is ready. Clark is very keen. Let's see what's on this episode.
Oh man, that's just exciting, very exciting. In previous rounds, we were just bombing along in hope, but now what we're doing is looking for leading targets.
Alright, now that we've come back from our time travel, let's roll that intro.
Collingwood win their greatest ever margin as Collingwood unleashed.
So Anzac Day this year, round 6, was the last time we played the Bombers, and that was such a nail-biting game. It was intense all the way through. You could say it was a battle of attrition. I'm pretty sure that's what I said in my other review for the game. We had the lead by as much as 33 points at one stage before Essendon came back, and we ultimately only won by 4 points. But the guys dug deep, and thanks to the heroics of Pendlebury, 38 disposals, Adam Treloar, 38 disposals, the goalie 2 goals. It was a good win. It was a very good win. Good for our run into those patch of games that we did win. And but it was another one of those games where a very slow start cost us. Well, a slow start and a wayward start. We kicked 4 goals, 5 in the first quarter, and they kicked 1 goal. We should have put them to the sword. It should have been all over before the second quarter even started. You might know this game as Boogate, because once Pendles won his 3rd Anzac Day medal, all the Essendon supporters were booing him, and Buckley came out and said that, you know, he shouldn't be booed, you shouldn't be booing a champion. But he won his 3rd medal and is one of the greatest players to ever play in those Anzac Day games. So last week, Essendon travelled to Perth to take on a roller-coastered Fremantle team. And despite losing pretty much every single major stat except for tackling, they went on to win by 32 points, which was on the back of a 30% conversion rate whenever they went inside 50, so they made the most of their chances, and they cemented a final spot for this year. And it's just a stark contrast to what they put up against the Bulldogs. We know that the Bulldogs the week before went on and kicked 21 unanswered goals, and to go from that to then going to Perth and winning by 32, you know, as much as I don't want to say it, it is a testament to that Bombers outfit. Adam Sard was one of their best players, of course, and so was Dylan Shield. As for us, we look to have hit the right amount of form at the right amount of time. Couple weeks before finals, we went to Adelaide. We needed to win to keep our top 4 chances alive. Adelaide needed to win to get into the top 8, and we just went there and demolished them. You know, to put it bluntly, really. It was a demolition after half-time. Up until half-time, it was another case of, you know, we only kicked, I think, 5 goals, 5, you know, up until half-time, and didn't make the most of our opportunities. We had a lot of the ball, missing shots. We just weren't converting our chances, or we weren't taking our chances when we did go inside 50. And that has been a trend for most of 2019, which isn't a very good thing, but, you know, hopefully we notch it up in the finals and that doesn't happen anymore. In that game, the Swoop squad were firing. They kicked 12 goals between them, and Jamie Elliott had 5 of them and is back to his peak form. We ended up winning by over 60 points, and it was a nice percentage booster, taking us from 113% to 117% and allowing us to enter the top 4 for a little bit until West Coast lost to Richmond and we moved down to 5th. But Pendles and Maynard were prolific and our most damaging players. With Danaher not playing because he's been injured for most of the season, Brown and McKenna are their go-to focal points when they're going inside the forward 50. And if last week has any sort of say, or we take anything out of last week, we know that an undermanned back line that we had, you know, with lacking a little bit of height, actually does work. Greenwood did a great stop on Lynch, you know. Tex Walker didn't have any sort of say. Hal played really well. Madgen played really well. And it was just a good all-round sound performance by our backline without Ruffy. I think we're looking at Greenwood getting another stopping role, but I don't see him playing on McKenna or Brown. He might go to Tipper, or, you know, if you wanted to, you could play him on old mate Bulldogs dude. Old mate Stringer. I would want Maynard to play on Stringer, but Maynard's doing better off that half back, so you think he either goes to Ambrose if he's down there or Parrish if he's on the other flank. This backline lineup kind of all rests on if Moore plays or not. It does sound like he's playing, but does he play up forward, which I kind of want him to, or does he play down back? Does Madgen come out? Does Rufford go down back? But I think Hal, Moore, or Rufford, or Maynard, or Shaz have it covered. Adam Sard versus whoever plays on him. I think Will Hoskin-Elliott will play on him. Will Hoskin-Elliott can run all day, and so can Adam Sard. It'll be a tantalising matchup. Sard is one of their better players coming off that half-back line, creates a lot of plays. You kind of think of the quarterback of the Essendon team. So if we can cut off his run, cut off his dominance, and cut off his influence, it'll go a long way in winning this game. Another key area is if our forwards can replicate their form from Adelaide's game. I don't expect, Mychek to kick 4. I don't expect Elliott to kick 5 or the Swoop squad to kick 12 all up. But what we need is that effort, that second effort, and we do need them to kick goals. The Bombers' defence, although they didn't leak many goals against Freo last week, allowed McCarthy to kick 3 and Walters, who was Freo's most damaging player, to kick 2 goals too. So yes, they didn't leak a lot of goals, which could lead up to team defence, not necessarily the defence themselves. We could see a couple of players hopefully get a couple of bags. And by a couple of bags, I mean like a couple of goal bags. Not any other sort of bag that you might be thinking. Get your mind out of the gutter. So from that Anzac Day game, in our forward line, we haven't got Cox, haven't got Stevo, haven't got De Goey, but Jamie Elliott is firing now. Will Hoskin-Elliott is firing. Varco is firing. I can name all these players again, and Mychek will play an important role down there. So will Ruffhead if he does stay down there. Yes, I want more in the forward line. I was there when he kicked 5 against the Bulldogs, so I kind of want him there, but our forwards that we have now will do the job. But in all honesty, it does come down to our midfielders and if they can hit targets going into that forward line. In previous rounds, we were just bombing it along in hope, but now what we're doing is looking for leading targets. Varco was doing it last week, Elliott was doing it last week, and now the likes of Treloar, Adams, Pendlebury, Callum Brown, they're hitting those leading targets, and what it does is you lead, you mark, you take a shot at goal. It's not like bomb it long, you lead, it goes over the top of your head, you have to do a double back, second, third, fourth, fifth effort. It doesn't require that. If you hit targets 30, 40 metres out, they get a better shot at goal than if you bomb it long in hope. So Buckley all but confirmed that Moore is playing this Friday, and it's just really good to see, really good for his confidence, knowing that the finals are 2 weeks away. What that means is, I think Madgen might get dropped, but credit to him though, he played really well these last couple of weeks that he's been playing, and I don't see them mixing with that forward line and putting Rufford into the back line and Moore into the forward line. I would love to see Moore there, but you've got to think that Moore was in All-Australian form before he did these couple of injuries as a defender. So you put him where he knows now, and he's just going to give us that little bit more intercept marking and that little bit more confidence when the ball is coming into our defence. In my script, I wrote, I don't think we'll make any more changes. But as I was driving home, I did see that Sidebottom had ruptured his testicle and needs surgery, so he won't be playing this week. Obviously, he's got the rest next week, and who knows if he's going to be making an appearance in this final series. What I think that means is that, one, it's not all doom and gloom. 2, we might finally get a Tyler Brown debut. Now, hear me out. I've got a good reason for this now. So, Tyler Brown, he does rack up a little bit of midfield numbers, but in the VFL, he does kind of play on that half-back line as well. So what I think will happen is Tyler Brown pushes into that half-back line, gives us a little bit of run, and Crisp comes into midfield, maybe put Main onto the wing where Sidebottom would usually be. And then it's no love lost really, because you're still getting a decent half-backer in Brown, and it's not like he's going to be there for 120 minutes of the game. He does come off, Crispy can go into the half-back line if we need to, and I think that's how we will line up. As for Essendon, Zaharakis is a definite out with a leg injury. They'll look to bring Hooker straight in from the team. He was a late withdrawal last week with some groin soreness or something like that. And there's talks that Bellchambers might be ready to go. He's over 30 years old. Would you really risk him in not even a final? It's just like, if you win, you're 6th. If you lose, you're still 7th. I don't think that Essendon can finish 8th. I wouldn't risk him. He hasn't played, I think, since around 15 or something. And going up against Grundy is just going to absolutely dominate him. So, do you risk him or do you put him in cotton wool and then bring him in for your elimination final? Alright, I think we will win. I think we will win big, over 30 points. I'm saying 32 points. I've got 2 big calls. One of them kind of contradicts everything that I said. Moore goes into the forward line, kicks 3 goals. My second big call is that on his return, Steve-O is going to kick 5 in the VFL. Luke, what are you talking about? Steve-O VFL, he's banned. Just wait. Glad you waited that 1 second while that little segment played. Steve-O is back, baby! It's true, Steve-O is back. His suspension finishes on the final siren on Friday night. so he's free to play against Box Hill in the VFL. It's just, oh man, we missed the dude. We really missed him. He's that X factor that we need going into this final series. So hopefully he dominates in VFL, slots straight back into week 1 of the finals. Oh man, that's just, whew, it's exciting, very exciting. Alright guys, so that's been my preview. Leave in the comments section below who you think is going to win and by how much. You might get a shout out in my review. Review? Doesn't matter. Video next. So, in the meantime, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, and until next time, I'll swoop you later. Okay, good boy. You want to come onto the camera? Are there... You okay? You got a fall, dude. You got a fall, dude. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Stand up or sit down? Clark. Oh, I'm blind. Alright.